If you're a fan of super fluffy, creamy, sweet, delicious yogurt, then this recipe is for you. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my simple method for making goat milk yogurt. There are so many different ways to make yogurt. The thing I like about this basic method is that you really can change it to fit your lifestyle and whatever kitchen gadgets you have lying around. The first thing you're going to do is pour your milk into a pot. I like to make yogurt with about a gallon of milk at a time, but you can do it with a half gallon or a quart or however much you have. We're going to scald the milk on the stove top. Make sure you don't overheat the milk past 180 degrees, you'll end up with a cooked flavor. This is where a chef alarm thermometer comes in handy. Now the whole reason we're scalding the milk here is to allow us to get the thickest yogurt possible. This works because we are effectively pasteurizing this milk and removing the competing bacteria that might mess with the actual bacteria culture that we're wanting to culture this yogurt with. Now once the milk has been scalded, you can let it sit for another 20 to 30 minutes at that temperature, and that's just another way to get a nice thick yogurt. I like to cover my pot full of milk with plastic wrap. If you have a beeswax wrap or a tea towel that has never been used for sourdough baking, then that's another great option. And you're going to just pop it in the fridge to cool down to about 115 degrees. Once the milk has cooled to somewhere between 110 and 120 degrees, I find 115 to kind of be my sweet spot, it's time to add the culture. If you're going to be culturing this milk with the freeze-dried packets from cheesemaking.com, I recommend 3 per 1 gallon of milk. And if you're just working with a half gallon, I'd go ahead and do 2. You want to start with as strong a culture as possible. Go ahead and sprinkle those across the surface of the milk, leave them to rehydrate for a minute, and then go ahead and whisk it all in. If you're going to be using yogurt from a previous batch to culture your milk, you're going to want to use 1/2 cup of yogurt per 1 gallon of milk. At this point, we're going to pour the milk mixed with our starter into glass jars. No matter where you end up culturing your yogurt after this step, you're still going to want it in jars. And now you have a choice. You can either move these jars into your oven and leave the light on to keep it warm, or you can put them into a cooler wrapped with blankets or maybe some Ziploc baggies of warm water to incubate, or you can do as I'm about to and put them into a dehydrator. So here I've moved the jars of milk into the dehydrator, I've taken out all the trays, and I've set my dehydrator to 113 degrees. Anywhere between 110 and 115 is going to be fine. And 6 hours later, this is what the yogurt looks like. You can enjoy it as is or strain it in the fridge for a day or two for a thicker, more Greek-style yogurt. I love that this yogurt recipe is super easy to customize to exactly the level of tanginess and the type of texture that you prefer. We like to enjoy it mixed with maple syrup or honey, in popsicles or smoothies, or frozen yogurt. And once you've tasted fresh homemade yogurt, it's really hard to go back.